You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. Welcome, fam. Podcast 457 coming at you. The Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. PELS lose the fourth straight game to open the season. 0-4. 0-4 as the Pelicans roll into the 2019-20 season. Really interesting, man. Very interesting, to say the least. I'm Big Q, covering the latest chapter of the Pelican post-game report. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and share, and all the positive stuff that comes along with that. And speaking of positiveness, we have to find something, because did anybody realize and see on the broadcast after watching the Pelicans game how everything became a big excuse show? It was like a post-game excuse show, starting the two women on the I mean, absolutely amazing. Pelicans drop the fourth straight in the start of the season, 134 to 123. At one point in time, they were down by as much as 29 points. That was the biggest lead the Golden State Warriors amassed on the Pelicans. 29 points. Longest run, 11. It was no lead changes in this game. Not one time in the game was the game even tied. The Golden State Warriors just went off on them. Just went off. Going over some of the team statistics before we get into individual statistics, we'll play Coach Alvin Gentry, who spoke after the game. And basically, man, if you look at what Coach Gentry was talking about, what he's seen, man, it's really hard to just watch what was happening there. Golden State dominated. They had 61 rebounds versus 41 rebounds by the Pelicans. That's a 20 rebound difference. How do you get out rebounded? 20 rebound difference. Absolutely amazing. The assist game, well, still Pelicans one of the top teams in the league at assists. Golden State even beat them at that, 37-36. They did have 13 steals versus 8 by Golden State, 7 blocks versus 2. Pelicans had 15 turnovers. They kept the turnovers down against 18 by the Golden State Warriors. Didn't make much of a difference. Golden State shot 49% from the field. Pelicans shot 46%. The Golden State Warriors hit 14 of 35, which is 40% from downtown. Pelicans shot 15 of 47 for 32% downtown. Pelicans were 12 of 23 from the free throw line, which was good for 54%. The Golden State Warriors hit 75% of their free throws, 18 of 24. You got to keep that percentage. That's something we talked about in previous shows, that Pelicans have to do a better job at the free throw line. They must, if they want to remain competitive. If you get to the free throw line, you got to hit the free throws. That's why they call free. But this was a just absolute stumping, man. I hate to use the term stumping, but the Pelicans got the issue in this game, man. Here's Coach Alvin Gentry after the game on what he thought about what happened. Here you go.
Like I said, we're work in progress. I love the effort that we played with. I thought we did a good job. We put ourselves in a position to win against a really good team. So, that's all I can ask them to do. There was a lot of good things we can take away. Some things that we still got to improve on. I think our turnovers obviously hurt us a little bit. I thought that, there was a couple of huge rebounds that we just didn't come up with. But, we played with a lineup near the end that, that we hadn't really played with. So all of the stuff is new. But like I said, Excuse me, I'm sorry. But like I said, I just think that if we keep playing with this effort and playing the way we're playing unselfishly, that, it's going to turn. I mean, it's not like we got 10 games left, got 79 games left, and the way we're playing and the way we practice, it'll all come together for us.
What did you like about Josh Hart?
Thought he played, he did a good job on Harden, I mean, he got 29 points on 29 shots. That's the best you can hope for against him. And, I thought we did a good job of trying to keep him away from his shot and doing a good job of challenging his shots. I thought we did a really good job on him. I thought our defense was good, We had a couple of, like I said, letdowns in transition and things like that. But for the most part, we were solid most of the night.
Ingram seemed to get about everything he wanted on the court,
Yeah,
inside,
he
outside.
Get grabbed a bunch of times. Yeah, so he did. Yeah, he got everything that he wanted. I thought that he took the ball and he played, strong with it, and I thought he did a good job of, creating space and shooting his shot.
Calvin, do you think Brandon last year around this time compared to the guy he's becoming now, and and how much different is he, and how much far does this kid have?
I just remember, obviously we watched a ton of film on him, but I just know that he has the ability to take the ball and create his own shot, but he also has the ability to create shots for other people. I think he's become a much better rebounder than in the past, and just a much better defensive player. So, he's a better all-around player. It's because he's worked at it, though. He's done a good job of working on his game and working on his craft and getting better at it.
What's your early impressions of what the new environment for him has been like?
The environment?
Yeah, what it's been. What do you think it's done for him as opposed to when he was in LA?
Oh, I wasn't in LA, so all I can tell you is that it's a good environment where he is now. I can't say that, because I wasn't there and I don't know anything that happened there. All I can tell you is that I think he's in a good place where he is. He knows that we really appreciate him. I think they've embraced the city, and the city has really, really embraced all of those guys, tenfold back. So, I think they're in a comfortable situation, but all I know is about, New Orleans and that situation. I wasn't with LA and I don't know anything about it, and so I don't think it would be right for me to speak on it at all because I wasn't there.
What do you think of Lonzo just all around? It seemed like he did a lot of stuff.
All right, fam. We're going to move up into the next round of discussions dealing with it. I think the family had the wrong interview queue, but we're going to get back to it. Pelicans versus Rockets post game. Here is, in a minute, we'll play. We'll have an opportunity to play Ingram coming up next. So what's really interesting, man, I think about this whole game is the fact that the Pelicans, man, let's give them credit. They did install and try to change things up due to injury. Of course, Drew Holiday didn't play in this game. But it's got to be it's really sad and frustrating because you look at some of these talents. They came into the season with really high expectations, and this season's not over with. It's just 4 games deep in the season. But you do see a lot of potential from this team. Brandon Ingram has been special. He had 27 points in this game, 10 rebounds and 6 assists in 31 minutes. He continues to look every bit of the part. Josh Hart played pretty well in this game as well. He kind of struggled a bit, 4 of 9 shooting for 44%. Didn't have too many shot attempts, finished with 12 points, playing the small forward position. J.J. Redick struggled most of the night. He was 1 of 10 for 5 points. Lonzo Ball in 31 minutes had 12 points on 4-10 shooting, 2 of 6 from downtown. He had 12 and 9 with 9 assists in the game. And the Pelicans just couldn't amass the scoring to compete. And you look at guys like Kenrick Williams, who played 26 minutes. He had 16 points. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 15 points on 6-11 shooting. Frank Jackson finished the game with 9. Jackson Hayes, who was really the big guy, who came in because Derek Favors was out, he played in this game. He had 19 points in 23 minutes of action. He was special. Looking at some of the things that was going on with the Pelican team. But issue after issue. And the fact of the matter is the Pelicans defense, man. I mean, that is the Achilles heel of this team is really the terrible defense. You can't allow as many wide open jump shots as the Pelicans allow, man. I mean, you can't win that way. I mean, seriously, you can't win when you allow that amount of just crazy 3-point shooting, not just the 3-point shooting, but the walk-up defense. The defense stinks for this team. They're allowing, ridiculous amount of pointage each game, and it's really frustrating because you can see these guys trying offensively, but it's not so much about your offense. It's just about your defense. You got to be able to bring it defensively, and the Pelicans aren't making enough stops to get themselves a chance on the offensive end. You can't allow Golden State to get these wide open 3-point shots. You can't allow them to have walk-up layups. You have to guard at the paint. Jackson Hayes was a guy that came in. He made several blocks, made several block and shot attempts, just roaming around the basket. You need somebody to guard the paint better. And that's where I really had just reservations on with the Pelicans. I knew about the potential, but you look at the fact that the defense, you must play defense in this league. You can't allow people to score as easy as they do. And that explains in large part the fact that the Pelicans have to do a better job shooting those free throws. They have to do a better job playing defense, and defense is the key here. Let's listen to Ingram after his big game, his thoughts after the game.
Try to come in and progress from the previous game, try to see what I could do better, and just try to go out there and do it.
What did you think you were taking advantage of? It seemed like you obviously got rolling in mid-range and just scored a lot of different ways tonight.
Just taking advantage of the rhythm that I had, trying to make shots, trying to still create for my teammates, but just staying aggressive at all times, trying to be good on the offensive end and the defensive end.
What do you think about it seemed like, team-wise, it seemed like you guys have been so close. I mean, you look at it as just little improvements that you need to make, and some of these will be turning into wins.
Like I said before, everything that we've done and we've done incorrect, it can be corrected. Today I had 2 missed layups and 2 missed free throws, and we lost by 3. That's 6 points itself. So everybody could have done something better. I could have done something better. It'll put us over the hump as long as we keep experiencing it.
What do you think about it? Defensively? You think you guys made progress from compared to last night?
We definitely made progress. I think our rotations were a little bit better. We rebounded the basketball a little bit better. We got to be better on straight line drives. But like I said, with experience, we'll continue to do better.
Brandon Ingram, fam, talking. But looking at the Pelicans, man, this night, he continues to shine against look at what he did with the Warriors in this matchup. He's, like I said, 31 minutes, 27 points, 10 of 23 shooting, 4 of 9 from downtown for 44%. He had 10 rebounds in this matchup with 6 assists. All-out effort for Brandon Ingram in this one. Really, you look at the rest of them, nobody even close with what he did. The closest scorer behind him was Jackson Hayes off the bench with 19 points in 23 minutes, which I was really impressed with. We knew the potential of Jackson Hayes. He's a spark plug, a guy that can set your line up. He's a defensive-minded first that catches balls at the rim to execute alley-oops. Very special players. But to keep it real, we can pile on right here because like I said, I've not made it a secret that I don't like Elvin Gentry's style of play. As far as his offense is concerned, like I keep saying over and over again, that he is a one-sided mentality in terms of playing offensively and the defense. Of course, they talk about defense, but jacking up 3-point shots and not moving the ball around is totally ridiculous. We must understand that. We got to get that. We have to have a guy at the rim to catch the 3-pointer before you shoot it up, before you jack it up. How about running some plays, circulating the ball like they did a few games ago before ultimately they fell through the floor and went back to the bad habits of just jacking up and shooting the ball everywhere. We must focus on that. We got to do a better job of that. That's what it comes down to. Now, the pressure cooker is turning up and up and up and up and up and up. Big ups to you, Unique View. He says, no structure on defense and offense. Thank you, fam. Thank you for that. Words of wisdom. Thank you. That is the major thing that we're dealing with the New Orleans Pelican system. The Pelicans have all the talent in the world, but having all the talent in the world doesn't mean anything if you can't use them in the correct manner. And do we have the coach that can command that respect? Do we have that guy? What do we have that guy? And another thing that Unique View, in the chat mentioned, no structure on offense and defense. Is there no point guard offense? Moving the ball around, circulating. What is the identity of the Pelicans? That's the bigger question, Unique View, and the family listening. The biggest question is, what is the offense, or what is the mindset? What is the identity of the New Orleans Pelicans? What are we? Can anybody answer that? We have a collage or a collection of very intriguing pieces. We have a few people, I don't want to call them cast-offs or castaways, or how people believe they moved them. Ingram and Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart are very special players. Lonzo Ball solved the point guard position that the Pelicans been struggling with since Chris Paul left. The small forward position they've been struggling with since Jamal Mashburn left. Now, some people could say, well, Trevor Ariza was okay in that role, but Jamal Mashburn was a all-star. Trevor was a special player in his own right, but he wasn't the answer there as well. He struggled in his first tenure here. Ultimately, was a defensive person. He really thrived elsewhere. But the reality is, what I'm saying is this. What is the identity of the New Orleans Pelicans? Can anybody answer that? That's what it comes down to. They have to do some soul searching. 4 games deep. Of course, we know there's an 82-game season. It's a long season. But let me tell you something. It gets even longer when your team is in a hole. You know who's up next? Denver. And when we talked about when they went 0-2, I said, listen, let's go over the schedule. We went over the schedule, and I said they're going to meet Golden State. They got Denver coming in, and then they got Toronto again as well. If the Pelicans are not careful, they can be 0-5, 0-6, and it's a tough hole. I don't care if you have 100 games in the season. It's a difficult process to climb out of a 5 or 6 game hole in the season. It's very difficult. But this is the thing that Gentry has to ask himself. But as the losses continue to mount and the poor play continues to happen, the pressure cooker is turned up and up and up and on Elvin Gentry. He is the only piece of considerable depth, of considerable anything, that is left in this whole matrix of the new Pelicans. New general manager, new president of basketball operations, new vice president, new general manager, new assistant GM. They have new assistant coaches, new players, and the same old Elvin Gentry. Even though they brought in a new defensive coach, the Pelicans need to focus on that. They really do. Now, we're about to go into our break. When we come back, I'm going to continue to break down and get some insight from the family on the chat. Big up to you, DJ. And the Pelicans motto about backing down, or don't bow down, or won't back down, or one bow down, or whatever it is, they might have to retract that, because the Pelicans doing a lot of bowing down and moonwalking. That's what's going on. But anyway, we'll be back on the other side of the break, and we'll talk some more about answers and what we need to do, and we'll look at the Denver matchup. All that's coming up on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. Stick with us.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to embracepetinsurance.com. That's embracepetinsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Argue, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're listening to the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. Big ups to the family in the chat. A lot of really diehard Pelican fans, man, out there that's really kind of just frustrated. I hear you, DJ. DJ mentioned Jackson Hayes. We talked about that on the last show, and guess what Elvin Gentry did? He listened to you. He heard you, fellas. And he put Jackson Hayes in there, and Jackson Hayes did what we expected him to do. He cut up. You know, he cut up in this game. He looked real. He played 23 minutes and scored 19 points in the game. 9 of 11 shooting for almost 82%. You know, the guy is lightning in a bottle. I told you that. We need his defense, his youth, and all that athleticism to help patrol the paint. Elvin Gentry needs help. He really does. And he has to figure it out. And force feeding and forcing the ball. And we keep talking about this, and nobody talks about it like we talk about it. You hear all these people on television. All they became is apologists for him. Did you get that, family? Did you watch the game? At the end of the game, did you hear all of the commentators make excuses for the Pelicans and talk about potentiality? I don't want to hear about potentiality right now. We don't need to hear that. What we need to hear is solutions. There's a series of errors and problems that's going on with the Pelicans right now. And I don't want to hear about potential, about how great they can be. I don't want to hear about that. What we need to hear is we see the problem. The Pelicans are being outscored. They're turning the ball over. They're not hitting the free throws. They're jacking up 3-pointers without getting rebounds. They're jacking up, it's just silly. Shooting the ball undisciplined wise, running. And I've been saying this for years, and nobody says this. And I remember talking to it about what one of the insiders on the last year's show when Kutchner, who's one of the insiders for the New Orleans Advocate, came on the show. and we had a dialogue about it, about the tempo of Elvin Gentry's offense. The Pelicans score 120 plus points a game, but the side effect of it is you're giving up. If they're scoring 123, they're giving up 125 or 127. What's the purpose of doing that? If you're forcing and pushing the pace and you're playing fast, but you know what? If you're not disciplined, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're playing fast, you're going to commit turnovers fast. You're going to turn the ball over even faster. So slow the pace. Move the ball, work the ball. You know, like Antonio Daniels astutely said about working the ball, moving the ball. When a couple of games ago they moved that ball, it looked graceful. It was wonderful. They built up this huge lead, and then all of a sudden they just regressed back to what they were. It's the temperament of the team. I often said, Coach Gentry, his scheme and system would not work unless he has a defense to counterbalance it. And the scheme is the fact that you're taking these stupid 3-point shots all the time without allowing the rebounder to get up under there and get them just in case somebody misses. What's the purpose of this? What is that? This is absolutely insane. And I keep bringing it to light, and I told them all, maybe they'll listen now. Maybe they'll understand, but a lot of people won't. They'll keep buying into the crap with him and about, it's just this and it's about that. But we'll see what's happening on the other end. We'll continue to break this down. But let's listen to Gentry. This is his interview. Pelicans game. Here he goes.
Really jumps out at you. 19 offensive rebounds for Golden State, 30 second chance points.
Yeah, I mean, that was a issue, obviously, and that's not really something that they're known for. They've struggled in that department, the last 5 years, really, so that was something that was glaring. And the other thing is that we never contained the ball. We just never got the ball under control and never contained the ball. And they really just outplayed us in every phase of the game. They outcoached us. They did, it was just it wasn't a very good effort all around.
They had a 20-point lead in the second quarter. He actually cut it to 8 right before the end of the half, and then a 12-3 run at the end of the half kind of sealed it away again.
Yeah, and the thing that was most disturbing is that they had 3 baskets when we made a 3-point shot and 2 passes and landed in the basket. And that's just not very good transition-wise. But as I said, I think most of our problems came because we just never had the ball under control defensively. We never controlled the dribbler, and when we did, they got the ball up on the board and then went back and got it again. So first 3 games I thought we played well and gave ourselves an opportunity to win. I just thought tonight, and you look at the end of this game and you look at the score and you go, it's ended up being an 11, 12-point game. We were never in the game. We never had any chance at all at winning. And that winning, and I think that's the most disturbing thing to me, especially playing at home. We talk all along about establishing some kind of home court advantage, which is very important and making it difficult to come in here and win. And, if we're going to say we're not going to bow down, then we're going to have to do a lot better than that from the standpoint of the way we compete and things.
So many young guys, so many moving pieces. I guess what's it going to take to finally get this thing back on track?
We just got to work at it. We got to have guys step up. We got to do a better job of coaching them. I mean, it's the whole entity. It's not one particular part. We just got to get better in all of those areas, and I'm responsible for that.
You feel the energy?
Coach Gentry, he damn right he's responsible for that. And we seeking in. It's where let's get solution orientated now. We recognize the problem. You're 0-4. Possibly could be 0-5. They're about to go up against a tough Denver club, and Denver's sitting up here at 0-3. They've on a 3-game winning streak. They're averaging 105, almost 106 points a game while holding opposition to just over 100 points, rebounding 48 rebounds per game, 21 assists. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak right now, playing lights out in the Western Conference. They're next up for the Pelicans. And you have guys like Will Barton, who just destroys the Pelicans every time he plays them. I know Will Barton sets the world on fire every time he plays them. And it's just, you got the Joker with Nikola Jokovic, who's just a special player, and it's all right. And Jamal Murray. I mean, it's just the Pelicans, it doesn't get any easier, man. You're looking at the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets are a team that could, that's pushing for a Western Conference appearance. They're a very deep and experienced team with solid defense. This is an all-around team, playing defense, rebounding, competitive night in and night out. The Pelicans have all the tools that it takes to be just as good as Denver or Utah, consistent as most of these other good, sturdy Western Conference teams. The issue is the coach doesn't know what his identity is. Are you an offensive team that's just jacking up three-pointers? Obviously, that's what they are, because no team that's going to be worth anything will just be a jack-up three-point shooting team every night, just jacking them up. Where's the offense? Where are the offensive plays being ran? Where's the defense at? Why aren't there any collapsing of players into the paint to destroy these routes that these point guards and people give with these walk-up layups? Why so much zone? Why more man-to-man? It's just the reality of the Pelicans giving up at least 12 wide open 3-point shots a game and still getting beat to the paint. How is that even possible? How are you surrendering 12 wide open 3-point shots a game? At least 12. I always count at least 12 wide open jump shots that a team takes against the Pelicans every night. Do your own homework and do it, and get your pen and pad out and count it. At least 12. They surrender at least 12 wide open 3-pointers a game. Attempts anyway, and then while they're missing, allowing people to jack up the shot, how are teams still penetrating the Pelicans into the cup, to the basket? How is it even possible? But it's a few issues and problems that need to be corrected. The style of play, maybe more of a balanced style attack, more of an emphasis on the defensive side. The Pelicans are a better defensive team than they are offensive team. Let's get that understood. They really are. Derek Favors is a solid defensive big who can run, who can play. He has a serious offensive game as well. But the Pelicans, Drew Holiday, solid two-way player. Lonzo Ball, solid two-way defensive player. These are great, solid defensive players. Jason Hart, solid defensive player. Brandon Ingram, solid defensive player. Don't get me wrong. These guys have offensive games, but if you can adjust your scheme to become more based on defense and stopping these easy walk-up layups and making it difficult for teams to score in the paint, you can be able to beat them. But if this trend continues, if they don't find the answer, and I have very little confidence in Elvin Gentry being able to do that, to be able to find a way to be able to stop this from happening, then ultimately what's going to end up happening is they're going to continue to lose games. And before they finally face a team that is not as good as them, or perhaps, hopefully, they don't become that medicine team or the headache, the aspirin team that everybody takes to get well. That's something. The Pelicans have too many really good players. They're really deep, and the coach has to figure a way how to institute these players into the scheme and forget about doing these 8-man or 9-man rotations like he said in previous interviews about, yes, I got a deep team, but we want to go at least 8 or 9 guys deep. No. You go 10 deep if you have to, go 11 deep. You have the propensity to have 12 players deep that you can rotate and play. So it's just many answers, but the questions, and maybe the answers lie, many questions, but the answers lie on stopping, retooling the defense, and becoming more balanced, more disciplined offensively. That's the two greatest things that I can tell Coach Gentry. If I'm sitting in front of him and say, Coach, you have to stop this stupid jack and the three-point junk that you're doing without putting guys in the paint that can get second chance points for you, or second chance rebounds, because it's folly. You just one and done. You take the ball down, you shoot one time, the other team gets the rebound, they go back the other way, have a walk-up layup, and then you do the same thing again. When you have a lead, you have a 3 or 4 point lead, don't just go down and let your players jack up brain-numbing three-pointers. Allow them to attack the paint and build the lead and then work from the outside in. Try that like they did before. It works. Instead of shooting from the outside in, try working it from the inside out. Try using Derek Favors. Try getting Brandon Ingram involved. Get these guys involved, and once the defense collapses to guard these players, you have wide open 3-point shooters. Lonzo Ball shooting it well. JJ Redick struggled against last night against Golden State, but like otherwise, JJ Redick will find it. Lonzo will hit it. Brandon Ingram has been solid as well, shooting the 3. So the Pelicans are really doing a good job as far as circulating. If you could play to that strength, they looked really comfortable doing that. I thought that's something that he would pick up and say, you know what, let's do this instead of doing that. but it's looking really bad now. Unique View says NBA rumors Pelicans could trade Lonzo Ball this season. Lonzo is hearing this also in the news October 27. Thank you, Unique. He also says breaking news on fan side: Elvin Gentry heats as Pelicans continue winless start to the season. That's a good, but that's a well-known fact. Thanks for that clip in there, Unique. But the reality is that we've been knowing El Gentry was on the hot seat. He was on the hot seat when all these moves were made. He was placed front and center of this team. There's no way for him to hide. Like last year, where you could hid behind injuries and say, well, he handled the team right in a losing effort and all this kind of nonsense. Now he's nowhere for him to hide. If this team doesn't win, he is standing out front because they change everything. They change trainers. They change players. They change executives above him. The only thing they kept the same was the head coach, which was a mistake in my book. They got rid of the defensive coordinator, Ehrman, who stunk. They brought Jeff Bezadelic in here from Houston. They have Chris Finch, who's a pretty good offensive mind, who is mostly a defensive style coach. But that's the thing. The defense, if the Pelicans would do more of a defensive-minded approach, you would start to see things happen. They have the length and athleticism to be a very good defensive team in the West. And remember, if you can't play defense in the West, you will not win against the best teams. The best teams in the West are defensive-minded teams who work their offense off their defense. You have Golden State, which is an oddity. It's a unique team in its own right. But guess what? Golden State can shoot the three-pointer, and they are offensive-minded. But guess what? They're very gritty defensively, too. They get the rebounds. They got people like Draymond Green and several other young players that get down and dirty with you, getting rebounds and shot blocking. So even though they're credited with their great offense, they are a very decent and good defensive team. You can't say that about the Pelicans because of the scheme. The scheme. You have to revamp or eliminate or change or whatever you got to do, whatever you're doing. This whole scheme that you came in with the season is suck and it needs to go. DJ says everybody hurt. Miller out, Holiday out, Zion is, and then Favors is out. What are you doing in practice like that? Well, the reality is, if you look at it, DJ, all these people are hurt, but the Pelicans still have the necessary depth to still be able to win games. That's what it comes down to. This is a deep team. There is no excuse for the Pelicans to be 0-4 at this juncture of time. Denver is next up. They're perfect. They're 0-3, and they look really good. Check them out. Pelicans got their work cut out for them against this Denver Nuggets club. That's all I got to say. This could be a 0-5 schedule start now. So we'll just have to maintain and watch, man. But forget all the potential talk, man. I won't see results. We forget the potential. There's many problems and questions. We need solutions, not potential stuff. But anyway, thank y'all for joining us on the Pelican Post Game Report. I'm Big Q. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Peace.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence and the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. T-Box temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With T-Box, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out tbox.com. That's right, tbox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.